Hey there, welcome back to The Evil Within. The final video. We're back in Sebastian's shoes, because I have some stuff to show off before we get to the executioner. This is what happens when you complete the map of Crimson City. Your reward is guns. Good guns, actually. There are a couple of unlockable weapons in this game. The first is the high penetration sniper rifle, which is an upgrade to the sniper rifle, and the burst handgun, which is an upgrade to the revolver. And actually, the burst handgun makes me kind of sad for reasons that we'll discuss in a moment. Unfortunately, there's no way to look at the completed map. The only way to actually look at the map is during the cutscene, where all of the pieces are completed. But if you get like a screenshot in like a high resolution or whatever, you can still read it. So, here are the guns we've unlocked. For beating the game, you get a rocket launcher. And a machine gun. The machine gun is pretty good. So, let's do some gameplay with these guns. Which I suppose, is the best way to show them off. Man, it's been a while. Remember this? It feels like so long ago now. It's been quite a journey. So the burst handgun carries over all of the revolver's upgrades. So it shoots faster, reloads faster, if you have it upgraded. These weapons don't have any upgrades of their own. Either they don't upgrade in the case of the machine gun, or they just carry over the upgrades of whatever they had before. The machine gun has its own special proprietary ammo type that is unique to it, that is very rare, and I usually end the game with like none, which kind of sucks actually. Burst handgun fires in 3 shots, and it's not actually especially useful if you're like me and you go for headshots, but if you aim for the legs or the body, it's actually really good at knocking enemies over. And of course, the rocket launcher. You get 20 shots every new game cycle, and that's it. No more. There is no ammo for it to be found, and it has no upgrades. But it doesn't really matter because it can kill pretty much anything in one hit. Including bosses. Just like in Resident Evil. So that's kind of cool. Okay. See you later, Sebastian. Back to the executioner we go. And there actually is one more unlockable weapon for beating the game on Nightmare difficulty, I believe. It is a pair of brass knuckles that just fucking blast enemies into giblets when you punch them. But I didn't have a save file with it unlocked, and I didn't really want to replay this 15-hour game just to get to the point where I can use the brass knuckles for like a 30-second clip. So you'll just have to take my word for it. I posted a screenshot of them. What more do you want from me? So New Game Plus in the Executioner actually changes a few things. First and foremost, we don't get to beat up Connolly again, unfortunately. But we do have a couple interesting things to purchase, things we unlocked at the end of the video. We'll get our daughter back again. Don't worry about it. So at the end of the last video, we unlocked a rocket launcher for the Keeper, as well as a katana, the katana that the Dark Keeper was using. So now we can have those. The Executioner is meant to be played multiple times. You saw at the end there that it gives you a score, and you get bonus coins. So you're not meant to upgrade everything in one run. But yeah, now we have almost all of his equipment. There's one more piece of equipment that we're going to get, and I think you're going to enjoy what it is. You'll see. So the katana is basically the same as the hammer. It's just a replacement for the standard weapon, except eventually it gets dull and it does less damage, and it doesn't stun enemies when you hit them. Other than that, they're pretty much the same. But that's not the only thing that changes in New Game Plus. There are also some fun new things that go on. We're going to be doing some of the same fights, but I have changed up the music. Sometimes in ways that perhaps were a bad idea, but you'll see. You'll see what I mean. We still have to do this part, though. We still have to run through the mansion, going from place to place, which, you know, whatever. That's just what they gotta do. You barely get hurt by that if you run into it, by the way. I just, you know, figured I'd mention. Yep. It's pretty badass. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. You also get a whole bunch of new torments for going to New Game Plus. Specifically, that last one on the list, for completing the final execution chamber. We haven't gotten there yet. You'll see. In a minute. Let's go beat up the sadist again. So badass. Oh, it's just so cool. The sword also bounces off the chainsaw, but unfortunately you can't, like, lock blades with him. I've tried, and I've tried, but it just doesn't work. The sword also does a lot of damage, by the way. So next up, we're gonna fight Joseph again. And something is a little different. He's Japanese! I love that dumbass kick. Oh, eat it, Joseph. Deuces. But yeah, I don't know. In New Game Plus, he speaks Japanese instead. All his taunts are in Japanese, and his opening dialogue is in Japanese. Strange stuff. So, you saw this at the end of the last video. We can now fight Sebastian, I suppose, in his, I guess, natural habitat. New Game Plus gives you 2 more execution chambers. One is a final arena, and the other is some good old-fashioned revenge. Let's do it. Sebastian has the brass knuckles, by the way. I think now might be a bad time to mention this, but this fight is very hard. It's very, very hard. Let's try this again, shall we? So Sebastian has a couple weapons on him. He's got the pistol, he's got his meaty fists, and he's got the crossbow, which he can shoot explosive bolts with. And if one of those hit you, it'll hurt, let's say. You kinda gotta make use of cover with this fight. It's like, man, Sebastian is a worthy opponent, it seems. See you later, buddy. So long, and thanks for all the fish. And there's our reward for defeating Sebastian in man-to-man combat. We get to buy a golden hammer. It's, the golden hammer drops more coins when you use it to kill things. And I have silenced the game audio here so that you don't have to hear the annoying heartbeat. Sorry about that. It'll come back in a second. Hey! Congrats, I guess. So there's one more upgrade. And in order to receive the upgrade, we will have to compete in the final arena challenge. This is a long one. Strap yourselves in. On the bright side, we have the golden hammer to keep us company now. So yeah, this arena is different than the others in that there are multiple bosses. And by multiple, I mean every boss in the whole game. Here we go. It's not that tough to start out with. One of the kind of crappy things about this arena is that you can't go in these elevators. And right now, that's maybe not too bad. But later on, boy, later on, it's going to be a pain in the ass. Also, there's haunted that have guns. They don't do much damage, but boy, they're pretty annoying. I will say that, oh, hello, Fat Man Ass. I will say that this challenge is a good way to get coins. Because, like, I mean, there's a ton of enemies, and it's a very long combat challenge, so, like, I mean, hey, might as well grind it for coins while you're here. And hey, the sadist has come to play. You can see that the game definitely does not slow down when the bosses start arriving. The bosses themselves are pretty much the same as they are everywhere else. The only problem is that you have to fight them while there's like giant hordes of enemies coming at you at the same time. So it's pretty tough. And in this arena specifically, enemies have a higher chance to drop health kits, which is very important later on when they start throwing even more enemies at you en masse. Eat it, fatty. Eat my lunch. But yeah, once the bosses start coming, they don't stop, believe me. We only have a short period of rest before our next dear friend comes to say hello. It's the twin! Come to knock us on our ass again. And unfortunately, we have no ballistas this time. So we have to take him on in hammer-to-hammer combat. And guess what? Hammer-to-hammer combat with this guy is a losing proposition. The only trouble is, I don't want to use the rocket launcher, because, like, I'm saving it for the end of this nightmare. And man, it's not good. Like, look at that, he swept the leg there. What could I have done to avoid that? Again, the movement in the Executioner is very, very clunky. So, like, sometimes you just kind of gotta get hit and accept your fate. This is messed up. I feel like I'm getting bullied here. I'm like over here trying to kill these enemies in the hopes that they'll drop a health kit. But, you know, not so lucky. Let me just invincibility frame my way through that hammer attack. The good thing is that when you're more hurt, enemies will drop more health kits. So what you can do is you can stay at kind of low health, and you can basically just jam-pack the arena full of health kits by leaving the bosses alive and then killing a bunch of enemies, so that more health kits will spawn on the ground. Because we're gonna need them later, let me tell you. Eventually this guy will die. That's the thing, they have a lot of health, these bosses, but at some point they've gotta keel over. I'm so tired of this guy. guess one good thing is that more bosses won't spawn if there's already one here. So like, all you really gotta do is fence with one boss until they're done. Then you can move on. But the only thing is, the longer you spend fighting each boss, the more hurt you get. So like, really in the long run, not taking your bosses out quickly, unless you're trying to fill the arena with health kits, is a losing proposition. Sometimes it's better to just back off and get some health packs either way. Look at these guys patiently awaiting their turn. How nice of them. But yeah, the twin is most of the reason why this arena is so long. Because like, he's just got so much damn health. Finally, Jesus. Oh my god. Immediately the other sadist joins the fight. I'm just glad they don't have you fight both sadists at once. That would be kind of, maybe a little bit of overkill. What a way to end this Let's Play. With violence and explosions. I guess it's what you all came here for, so you're gonna get it. There's really not much strategy for the rocket launcher sadist. Because like, he does, if you get close to him, instead of firing rockets, what he'll do is he'll do that little shove, and the shove knocks you over, but it doesn't do very much damage, so like, it doesn't really matter. I don't know what's going on here. This is just a clusterfuck. Oh, what's that? You thought I was joking when I said the thing about both sadists. No, the other guy's back. See, I fooled you. It was a classic case of misdirection. No, we've got to fight both sadists now. And you can see I've upgraded my rocket launcher so that now I can carry many, many shots with it. But like, in a minute you're gonna see that I will very much regret wasting those. It's just that both sadists at once is a pretty tough challenge actually, because when they're both swinging at you, you can only block one and then the other guy will hit you. So like, you're kind of screwed. The best way to take care of the sadist is by just doing this. You just hit him once, and then the second hit will like ricochet off of him. So then he'll be stunned, so you can just go up and hit him again. He's also very easily stunned by multiple attack combos. Hooray, we did it! Unfortunately, though, it's not quite over yet. There's still one more challenge for us to face. We've already fought both protagonists. How about fighting both protagonists at once? Oh shit. So now we have to fight Sebastian and Joseph at the same time. And that is actually very hard, because they both have like perfect aim projectile weapons, and like, oh, it's fucked, man. Everything is fucked. Oh, and I'm out of rocket launcher ammo. Oh, man. Well, you can't win them all, I guess. One more video to go. Thank you very much for watching.